Welcome. This is our final video with respect to the example question Pam Lam and Tien, and we are going to do the statement of financial position as instructed in the question. Required the balance sheet of Apex Limited immediately after the takeover. So we have the takeover and we're going to show the balance sheet, which we now call the statement of financial position. And we are going to look to record the value of our assets, which are premises, equipment, vehicles, and stock at their new valuations, and also the creditors that the company has decided that they will pay, which is $16,800 that we would have seen here. The company said that they would pay off those creditors for the partnership. So let's get our balance sheet going, our statement of financial position. So let's look here. I already have it set up for you. So we have the name of the company, Apex Limited, statement of financial position as at the 31st of August 2005. We're going to start with our non-current assets, which we have our premises. So we have our premises, and the new value of premises is $240,000. We're going to enter that. So $240,000 is the new value of our premises. We have equipment, and the new value of equipment is $71,400. So let's enter that. We also have motor vehicles, and the new value of our motor vehicles is $60,200. So let's add these figures together and see what our total non-current assets are. So $240,000 plus $71,400 plus $50,200 gives us $361,600. So $361,600. So our current assets. So we have our current asset would be our inventory of $41,600. So let's enter that inventory. Our stock, as they have there, 41,000. Let's put it directly under the total non-current assets, because we don't have any more current assets to add. We don't have any debtors because the partnership collected money from the debtors. So the company don't have any debtors. Here, $41,600. The company will have to start trading in order for them to now get debtors. So let's add our current assets and non-current assets together and see what they total. $361,600 plus $41,600, which is $403,200. So our $403,200. This is our total assets, $403,000. Let me make sure that we're in the right line. Our total assets. Total assets, a little bit. Total assets, $403,200, and from that we're going to take our liabilities, and we only have current liabilities, and our current liabilities are our creditors or accounts payable, right? And because that we don't have any other liabilities, current liabilities, we would enter the value of our current liabilities, which is $16,800. How did we get that figure? Let's go back and look at our statement of financial position. $16,800 for our current liabilities, and that is because the company agreed to pay that off for the partnership. So then we are going to subtract this $16,800 from this $403,200 to see what our net assets would be. So 403,200 minus 16,800, which is $386,400. 386,400. Right? So that's our net assets. So let's show that that's our net assets. Net assets. And all of this is financed for the company by our ordinary. All of this is financed by our ordinary share capital and our reserves, but I'm just going to put everything together right now. So our ordinary share capital of $310,000. How did we get this $310,000? Remember our previous calculation. We go back here. We calculated that our ordinary share capital, let's look at it. Here, $62,000 by $5, $310,000. And we have our preference share capital, which we would have calculated previously as 30,000. So let's go $30,000. How did we get this $30,000? Again, let's go back up and we will see that we calculated our preference share capital right here. 30,000 shares by $1, $30,000. And we also have our share premium. So I'm just going to put everything together. I'm not going to separate the reserves from the capital. And our share premium is $20,000. And we calculated this $20,000 by taking our ordinary share capital of $310,000, adding the preference share capital to give us $340,000 in ordinary and preference share capital, and our purchase consideration was $360,000. When we subtracted the $340,000 from the $360,000, we got a share premium of $20,000. And then, how did we get our capital reserve that I'm going to enter? Because we had negative goodwill. When we look at our purchase price was $360,000, and our net assets value was $386,400 by adding our assets minus our liabilities, and then that was taken from our $360,000, which gave us a negative goodwill or a capital reserve of $26,400, because again the purchase price was less than our total new net assets. So let's put in our capital reserve. Again, let me state which is 26. and it will go here as a positive figure. So again, let me state, you can start at the top here and write intangible asset, goodwill, and you can put the $26,400 up here, but you have to put it as a negative figure because it is negative goodwill. Okay, as long as negative goodwill and you put it up here, you have to put it as a negative figure. Alternatively, it can go in your finance by section and it will be a positive figure and it will be called capital reserve. So either way you do it, it will be correct. So let's now total our finance by section. 310,000 plus 30,000 plus 20,000 plus 26,400 gives us our new capital of $386,400. So our statement of financial position balance is 386,400. Right? And this completes our question of Pam, Lam, and Tien, where they incorporated, they created a company called Apex Limited and incorporated that company to enjoy the benefits of one of the benefits of unlimited liability, and another benefit that when the owners die, the company will continue. And they have decided that they're going to let Apex Limited take over their firm that they created, and because they were partners in that firm, and Apex Limited decided to pay $360,000 for the firm by issuing ordinary shares and preference shares. The ordinary shares at par, whereas the preference shares at premium. And then the company took over, decided to pay for the creditors, and we had our partner taking home a vehicle, and we have the new values for our assets, and we would recognize that in the takeover question, the three accounts that we look at in our takeover question for the partnership, we look at the realization account. So we look at the realization account, and when we are doing the partnership being takeover, we will dissolve the partnership the same way using the accounting entries for dissolution. So we would do that. So we dissolve our partnership, and through the realization account, we close off all our asset accounts using that. We close the bank account for the partnership, and we close the current account because they had current accounts. So we close off the current accounts to the capital account, and subsequently we close the capital account. And in doing so, we found that one of the partners was insolvent or bankrupt, and he couldn't pay his $54,560 on his capital account, and therefore Pam and Lam had to take on that debt and share in their last agreed capital balances of the $28,160 and the $26,400, and then they had to pay money into the bank account to bring it to a close. Remember, ordinary share capital and the premium on that class of share is distributed using the profit sharing ratio of the partners, whereas the preference share capital and the share premium on that class of share is distributed to the partners using their last agreed capital balances. So I trust that this is a thorough explanation of the takeovers of a partnership, and you would have your questions that you are supposed to complete, and we will go through them in our face-to-face session. This brings our question Example question 2 and N.